Welcome on into another installment of the Dynasty Daze series here on the Ultimate Sports Network. We have Season 4 about to get underway, but let me give you a little background information here first. We're coming off a 9-5 season last year. Now we've got something to build on here. We already took care of our first opponent here, Syracuse, took them out 45-24, got our first win of the year, but unfortunately the footage from that game was lost in the archives, so you won't see that. We'll pick things up here in week number 3, game number 2 against the Iowa Hawkeyes, a team that we play year in and year out. And ever since Coach Frank has arrived here, this is a team we've struggled with quite a bit. But speaking of struggling, there was none of it going on here early in this one. You see Carl Winslow with a huge kick return right off the jump. That helps us tremendously. Somehow Dan Small comes down with this impressive catch. No idea how the tight end came up with that one. Our guy Flipper Anderson finishing off the job there with a nice little 6-yard run gives us a 14-0 lead here early. Iowa goes for a field goal here, but unfortunately it's going to come up a little bit short. They do manage to get the ball back, however, midway through the second quarter, get their first score. They're on the board here, folks, but now we respond with yet another tutty from Flipper, and we are just doing some work here in the first half. Nice run there by Ray Brown, good touchdown, but with a minute remaining, can Carl Winslow do it again? We've seen flashes from this guy, but to get 2 kick returns, I mean, this is just ridiculous, and to do it both in the first half, he just leaves everybody in the dust on this one, and I mean, man, this guy just making it look all too easy out here. Now here in the third quarter, it's going to be Plummer's Crack rolling out, finds his receiver Michael Jordan with the 5-yard touchdown reception. We give ourselves a 35-14 lead. The Hawkeyes are hurting, but Doug Bolden with a big reception there to give them a little bit of hope, but it's going to be Plummer's Crack once again on another short toss right there. Girth Brooks with the reception. That tight end has been an absolute stud ever since he showed up here. Doug Bolden does come through with his second touchdown of the game, but Plummer's Crack and the crew won't be outdone. Not here, not today, and this Hawkeyes home crowd is not liking what they're seeing out here on the field. Iowa would proceed to get 2 late touchdowns in this game, but they would need a prayer on the ensuing onside kick here, and it's going to be a clean recovery from our running back, backup running back that is. Forrest Clean gets this one, nobody near him, and that should do it, folks. Takes us to the end of this game. 2-0 here on the young season. Our next game is coming up against Texas A&M here now. This is game 3. We've got off to a hot start here in year number 4, really trying to set the tone, really trying to show people what we've built here in Ames, Iowa, on the road for the second consecutive week as well. Plummer's Crack rolls out a tremendous amount, and to no avail there as he throws that one right to the opponent. You hate to see that. Texas A&M, after driving all the way down the field, gets a field goal of their own. We respond with a field goal, so trading a couple 3-point plays right there, but now for the first time all day, they're able to get this thing down near the goal line. It's going to be our defense, though, that steps up here and somehow miraculously holds them to yet another field goal. You gotta love a good goal line stand. Plummer's Crack, one of the more mobile quarterbacks we've seen here in our time at Iowa State, but that mobility doesn't always result in the best looking passes, unfortunately. A sloppy one he let go right there. That's going to be a big interception, and it looks like now Texas A&M on 4th and goal here is going to try to make a play happen, but they can't, and for the second time this game, our defense makes a tremendous stand, keeping us alive here early in this one until the offense can get firing on all cylinders. Now 4th and 8, a risky decision to go for it here with 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and there was no reason to do that. Going to be an irresponsible interception, and Plummer's Crack having one of the worst days of his career thus far. Here on 1st and goal as the third quarter clock is expiring, they're going to get that one, putting themselves up 13-3 now. Texas A&M firmly in control of this one. The interception on this play obviously isn't going to help our chances anymore, and it really is not looking good here. The handoff on this one, what a play as the man Thomas Harmon takes that into the end zone, now extending their lead to 17. Might as well air it out at this point. It's going to be a great catch by the man Zipper Explosion, but with so little time left on the clock, I don't know if we can make this happen. Again, back to Harmon once again here. The guy is an absolute monster out here. Big runs, seals the deal, and a big win for Texas A&M. Our next opponent on the schedule is Army, folks. They're number 15 in the nation, but that's not going to phase us here. You see that nice little out route there to Girth Brooks. 3-yard grab for the tutty, puts us up early, but Chris Neal, the running back for Army, responds, and then they come right back here in the second quarter, getting another one on that 26-yard toss to receiver Mike Mike Ross. However, Flipper Anderson has shown you what he can do in the past, and he's going to show you once again, just reminding all the people out here, the force he has become on this field. Absolutely beautiful run play right there. Ties this thing up at 14. However, Army wastes no time bouncing back with a big play of their own here. They'll take the lead right back with that one, so give them some credit. Now with the clock ticking down here before halftime, a nice throw to tight end Dan Small, who's been kind of clutch for us these last couple games out. Guy is starting to make his presence felt a little bit more on the field. Zipper explosion converts on the touchdown here before halftime, and we got a tie game here, folks, going into half number 2. A huge turnover right there. Douglas Havoc dives on the fumble on the field, but it doesn't make a difference because we say, hey, you know what? Why don't you take it right on back with that interception? A bit of a sloppy play right there. You hate to see that on the heels of such a good, productive effort from our defense. Now it's going to be Chris Neal on a 33-yard run right there, giving Army a lead once again, but Flipper will not be slowed down. He will not be thwarted. This man is just absolutely manhandling the defense here today, and you can see, I mean, this one here passes the record all time for rushing yards at the program. Give that man his flowers. Plumber Crack rolls out to the left here, turns his body around, and somehow still locates Zipper Explosion for his second touchdown of the day, after which we tack on a field goal, giving us our first lead in quite some time. 31-28 is the score as it stands, but a huge play by Chris Neal. This guy has absolutely dominated on the ground here today and puts him ahead once again here with 2 minutes to go. Flipper Anderson, speaking of dominating on the ground, that happens to be this guy's MO. Nice run right there, ends up setting up this play from Forrest Clean with just over 30 seconds left. He'll be smart, take that out of bounds, juice that clock, and there's not much time left after that tutty from Flipper Anderson. Army's going to have one chance to come up with a miracle here, but they cannot do it, folks, and a big win for Iowa State and the Cyclones. Well done, Coach Frank. Well done, Iowa State. Standing here at 3-1 on the young season now, this is a huge game against a team that has tormented us here in our first couple seasons at Ames. And you know what? This game would start no differently. As they get off to a hot start with that touchdown, we decide, hey, you know what? Let's play a little careless and loose with it and give you another chance here with that interception. I mean, the quarterback just dropping bodies out here. One of the weirdest pitches you'll ever see in your life. And it's going to be our DB, Anonymous Sex. Yes, that guy, named after the famous erotic novel, somehow picking this thing up, taking it over the 50-yard line. Nice job by that man, Anonymous, over there. It's going to be Plumber's Crack rolling out here. Thought he had his receiver in beef tip, but the DB jumps right in front of that one. Another big play by West Virginia's defense here early in this game. Now it's going to be Dawson, fakes the handoff there, goes to Temple on the other side. Can Temple break through the tackles? Oh, yes, he can. And Randy Temple with a nice 7-yard run, and West Virginia firmly in control of this one early. We might only be in the first half, but that's already the third interception that Plumber Crack has thrown here today. I mean, this is just not going well, folks. In fact, it's going from bad to worse, and it's doing it quick. Finally, Forrest Clean gets our offense to settle down a little bit with that nice 20-yard run right there. But before the halftime whistle, it looks like Dawson's going to find his guy here on this one. I'm not even sure how that pass made it to Dylan Fry, but an excellent grab on that play, and well done. Obviously, now early in the second half, they go to work once again. We'd respond with a little bit of action from Flipper, but frankly, we're going to need a lot more than that if we intend to come back in this game. And already in the fourth quarter here, now we get lucky with that pass that somehow made it through that crowd to Zipper Explosion. They do tack on a field goal there, and now with 20 seconds left at this point, we're just trying to pad the stat sheet a little bit here, and that backfires big time with yet another interception. West Virginia is going to go on to win this one. We just cannot beat that team. We're back on the road now for a big matchup with the Horned Frogs here. Both of our teams standing at 3-2 right now, and we don't get off to a particularly great start with this pass over to A.J. Fuller that he turns into a 31-yard touchdown reception. Give him all the credit on that play. Speaking of big pass plays, our guy Girth Brooks, our number 1 tight end, gets open here. Number 2 tight end comes in clutch here on the next play. Dan Small gets himself open, punches it into the end zone, folks, and ties this thing on up. They would make a long field goal here to give them a temporary lead. However, we waste no time getting back down the field. Plummer's crack looking to the end zone, but can't find his receiver. That was unfortunate, especially right before halftime. You hate to frickin' see it. That one's definitely going to hurt you a little bit. Now it's going to be TCU taking off. The QB keeping this one himself, stiff arming players left and right, shedding tackles, making plays. Nick Coleman with a 35-yard run ends up setting their second field goal up for the day here. They now have a 13-7 lead. Folks, we fast forward to the third quarter. A terrible looking pass here on 3rd and 18. We were forced to punt that ball, but luckily on their 3rd and 4 possession there, we were able to get a sack and force them to give us the ball back as well. Michael Jordan here late in the third quarter, trying to get us onto their side of the field, ends up setting up this touchdown from the one and only Flipper Anderson III. We take the lead back 14-13 as it stands at the moment, but TCU is not waving the white flag just yet. A great play right there by wide receiver Will Atkins, just fighting for every yard he could earn on that play. Ends up being A.J. Fuller, the running back, who converts on that tutty. Well freaking done. They don't get the 2-point conversion, so luckily for us now here with just over a minute remaining, Flipper Anderson and the squad has a chance to take this game and get us a W, and that's exactly what they do. We're going to go for 2 here now, and on the 2-point conversion, Michael Jordan does come up short, so it's all on our defense. This is their last play of the game, and they don't even get it to where they need to go. We got plenty of defenders out there, and it appears that TCU will come up a little bit short here in this game. Sitting here at 4-2 at the midway mark of the season, Iowa State has done pretty well this year. We're pretty impressed with what we're seeing out here on the field, but a big time battle with number 11 Texas is looming here, and we are going to need our A game today if we're going to leave a lasting impression. Nice reception there by Terrence Poole, ends up setting up this big time run play, man. I mean, look at that. That is a big boy run by Jerome Moore right there, and a very sloppy play here by Plummer's crack. Puts the ball on the ground, gives Texas excellent field position, which of course they convert on here with the nice throw to Nathan Thomas, who was wide open in the back of the end zone. Now it's going to be Carl Winslow, who we already saw do some damage in the kick return game earlier this season. Can he do it again here, folks? Finds a way to somehow elude that defender. Not quite sure how he got by all these players on the special teams unit, but what an absolute incredible return. You see the flashes of brilliance from this guy and what he can bring to our team. The athleticism is just unrivaled. A great play right there by Texas as the quarterback keeps that one himself, opts to run it all the way into the end zone, puts them back up by 7 here, but there is so much time remaining, and guess who has the ball in his hands again? Yes, it's that man, number 29, aka Carl Winslow, and this guy is really starting to make some big fans here in Ames. I mean, they are going to love this freaking kid. Now it's Plummer's crack. Speaking of quarterbacks keeping the ball, it's going to be the man, Mr. Crack, taking it all the way to the end zone on a 36-yard run right there. Didn't even think of ever pitching that ball. No need to do it. Why would he ever think of doing that? On the other end, we're going to get a nice interception here from McCoy. Give him some credit. A beautiful looking play right there as he just stopped in his tracks, found a way to turn around and just get a huge turnover for us. Plummer's crack making a very similar looking play to that first touchdown where he ran it in on his own, but now putting us up here 35-24 at halftime. It's going to be once again Jerome Moore taking that into the end zone for his second rushing touchdown of the day. He has been a big time threat for this Texas squad. You see what this man can do, and both run games looking effective out here, but it's really the special teams unit that would be the difference here in this one, as Carl Winslow, with already 2 kick returns on the day, says, you know what, why not add a third? And he is just having a party out here. I mean, look at this guy just loving life right now, and you can't blame the kid having one hell of a day out here on the football field. Devon Howard does get a great catch right there. They're going to try to convert this on 3rd and goal. They can't get it in. Can we get the stop on 4th and goal? No, we can't. Lance Bullock does get the 1-yard rushing touchdown there. Wasting no time whatsoever here. Texas is going to make a pivotal interception. This could really shift the momentum of this entire game, especially if they find a way to capitalize here on 3rd down, which they failed to do so. Now on 4th down, a huge sack. What a game-changing play right there, potentially. Plummer's crack dropping back into his own end zone, throwing off his back foot, finds his receiver, zipper explosion. What a play right there. Absolute brilliance from this quarterback. He's going for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the day, and guess what, folks? He'll convert it on that 8-yard scamper right there. Now it's going to be in our defense to hold up strong here in the last minute and 30 seconds on a crucial 3rd and 4 right here. Texas is going to find their receiver. Nice catch there by Sam Parrish, giving them a little bit of hope here down the stretch. Beef Tip does make a nice clean recovery on that onside kick attempt. With a minute 22 remaining here, we're going to have to just hope that we can run this clock out and play some smart football here. Zipper explosion with yet another big play here on the day. Nice grab by him, and that will do it, folks. Carl Winslow, 438 kick return yards on the day, 3 touchdowns. Give that man all of the credit for that big-time W. Now here in the next week, going up against Oklahoma. Yes, we got the Sooners here, folks, and we're on the road for this one, so you know going on the road to Oklahoma is always going to be a challenge, regardless of what their record says. I know they're only 3-5. I know we're 5-2, but here early we have a 7-7 game before they go back there to Will Workman with a nice-looking touchdown. Flipper Anderson III, a name you have heard called repeatedly over and over again here these last couple seasons, continues to make impact plays for us every time he gets the ball. Now it's going to be Oklahoma settling for a field goal there. Flipper Anderson, what were you just saying about him? Sorry, what were we just saying about Flipper Anderson? That's what I thought. His second touchdown of the day here early in this one. And before halftime, it's going to be El Chapo Guzman with the 17-yard reception from our slot receivers. So we are getting contributions from everybody out here in this one. Not very good defense on this play, however, going to result in a nice, easy touchdown for Oklahoma to bring them back within 4 points. Airing out the ball here to Beef Tip. No, he could not get up and get that one, unfortunately. Going to be a big-time interception. However, Oklahoma, after going down the field a little bit here, would be forced to punt this thing. A bit of a mistake right there on that play, but luckily for us, McCoy is able to recover it. After moving the ball down to their side of the field, we would be facing a huge 3rd and 15 here. We find our fullback on the outlet pass there. Can't believe he actually got open for that one. And then he caps off the drive with a 2-yard run right here. Well done by Muka. The man is straight money out here. Their final play here in the fourth quarter would not go for enough yardage, and heck, they can't get 11 points on one play. So that's a nice win right there, folks. And we are now standing at 6-2 going into a game with number 11, Oklahoma State. What a season it has been so far. Look at the stands packed here in Ames, Iowa. I see yellow and red all over the place. Can't wait for this matchup here against a premier opponent. Speaking of which, here early in this one, Oklahoma would waste no time whatsoever. The quarterback takes this one all the way to the house. Mark Moore with a big-time touchdown, putting his team up early. However, we do have a man who goes by Zipper Explosion. The guy's been having one hell of a year and continues to tack on some more touchdowns to his total. Now back on this side after they get a touchdown of their own, it's going to be Plumber's Crack doing a nice little spin move right there, but unfortunately gets a little too fancy with it and coughs it up on that fumble. Oklahoma State recovers this, and now they are looking to take a 2-score lead here on that nice pass to Andrew Clark. Makes it look very, very easy on that one. Flipper Anderson now getting us a crucial first down here, setting up a play on this flea flicker of all plays that actually works, and Beef Tip somehow, some way comes through in the clutch on a very improbable play call, but it all worked out for the best. Okay, well, let's go back here now with 29 seconds remaining in the second half. Oklahoma gets a receiver wide open downfield. I'm not really certain how none of our defenders marked Mike White, but he was wide open on that reception. Now here with a couple seconds before halftime, we settle for a field goal to trim this down to an 11-point game. We will get the opening kickoff here to start the second half, and I don't have to tell you, Carl Winslow has been a force of nature whenever he can get his hands on the ball this season. And once again, here to open the second half, the guy, oh my Lord, you gotta be kidding me, takes it all the way back to the end zone. We're gonna go for 2 here with Flipper Anderson the third. Punches it in, buddy. 28-25 game as it stands right now. Plumber's Crack has shown you his running ability here throughout the season, and he shows it to you once again. And just like that, we are back in the lead somehow, some way. But Oklahoma State says, hey, we're not going to let that last for long with that nice touchdown pass to Jason Ewing, who comes through in the clutch. We try to respond quickly here, which might have been a mistake. Got a little carried away through an interception. And now Oklahoma State really looking to beef this lead up once again here. A nice pitch play right there to Chad Webster. Gets the toss on the run play. Converts for a big-time touchdown. At this point, if it's not Carl Winslow, who the heck is going to be scoring for us? I mean, you guys are probably getting sick of watching this guy return kicks, but I mean, come on, man. The guy is just absolutely on fire. 101 yards to the house on that one, but it wouldn't make much of a difference, unfortunately, because Oklahoma State and their running back bounced right back with another big tutty. The man Plummer's crack here in the fourth quarter now, trying to do everything he can to keep us in this game, but Oklahoma State just keeps putting those points on the board. Jim Fox with a nice 16-yard touchdown reception right there. Plummer's crack rolling on out, would find his way into the end zone here on this one on a nice little 7-yard run, but unfortunately not able to recover this onside kick, and that would do it for the day, folks. Tough loss right there, but we got a big game coming up now against 6-3 Baylor. We also have the same record here, so it's really important that we focus on getting this W. They get to work early with that nice reception by receiver Connor Hill. We respond with some more running from our guy, the one and only Plummer's crack. I mean, the guy has just been outrageous every time he takes off with the ball on the ground. They do respond, of course. We come back with a nice touchdown from Forrest Clean, and now it's Workman at quarterback finding the open receiver downfield. Hill, once again, you heard from him once earlier, sets up this play here now for the nice short run by Sam Shaw, putting Baylor up by 7. On this next play here, Flipper Anderson gets an opportunity to tell the defense class is in session and leaves them all just wondering what the hell just happened with that stop and go move. Gets the touchdown here, ties this thing up at 21. However, Baylor didn't waste any time bouncing back at all. A sloppy defensive play here by our DBs. Not good angles, not good tackling. I mean, this is just sloppy. You can't have this kind of play if you're going to win games like this against 6-3 squads. Plummer's crack finds a seam on that one, though, takes it himself here. Does he have the jets to leave the defense in the dust? Yes, he does. We then make the bold decision to go for 2 here. Forrest Clean converts it, folks, and just like that, we are up 29-28. However, Baylor would come up with one of the craziest plays I think I've ever seen. The quarterback nearly trips over his own teammates, somehow throws the ball across his body and completes that. I can't actually believe that pass found a receiver downfield. Unbelievable play by the Bears. However, Carl Winslow has continued to show you all season that he is an absolute freaking menace when given the opportunity on kick returns, and what a job right there, giving us another 1-point lead here before halftime. However, that would be short-lived because Baylor does get this thing back into field goal range. However, they opt with 4 seconds to throw it. A bit of a risky decision, but it pays off as Greg James comes through with the clutch tutty, and Baylor on top here at halftime. In the second half, Beef Tip and the squad go to work early with a nice reception. Not only would Adam Workman respond with a nice rushing touchdown, but he gets the 2-point conversion there as well, now putting his team up 50-43. We go to the fourth quarter, folks. A nice interception here by Matthews. Probably should have never let that pass go in the first place, but Plummer's crack was just trying to make something happen here. Unfortunately, Sam Shaw punches in another touchdown on the ground for Baylor, giving them a 14-point lead. Nice response here by Plummer's crack, and then it's going to be Forrest Clean here on the point after attempt, getting 2 right there, making it a 6-point game here, folks. But on 3rd and inches, one of the biggest plays of the entire game here. Not only do they convert it, but they continue to take this thing all the way down the field. Sam Shaw, 65-yard run, and it's not looking good right now. As you know, whenever Carl Winslow gets his hands on the ball, magic seems to happen, and this is no different on this play. They needed this. I mean, if the Cyclones didn't get this right here, we'd be in huge trouble, but getting it back down to a 1-score game here now does give us a little bit of hope. We opt to go for 2, which is a risky scenario there, but we don't convert it. Now they're going to have a chance here with a minute 50. It's going to be the quarterback, Workman, keeping it himself, running to the left, running to the right, can't decide which way he wants to go, but he somehow gets it all the way in for a 43-yard run, and with time dwindling right now, I just don't know if Iowa State is going to have what it takes to hang around in this one. A nice touchdown there by Flipper Anderson the third. A minute left to go in the game. The onside kick does not work, and congratulations to Baylor. A big-time win right there, and they send us down to 6-4 now on the season. We have 2 games remaining. This one against Kansas is at home, folks, so we really like to win this game, win out for the season here. An 8-4 record wasn't exactly how we saw our season beginning, but it would be a solid way to end season number 4 here and get us into a decent bowl game. We do get a nice interception here early from McCoy, but a bad dropped pass there as the receiver didn't even really appear to be interested or get his hands up. Really unfortunate. You'd like to see a little bit more of an effort than that. And then on defense here, speaking of effort, we are showing absolutely none of it. At least we were able to track the guy down before before he could take it in the end zone here, but it's going to be the quarterback now keeping himself, and there you go, Gerard Harris with a 1-yard touchdown to give the Jayhawks a 7-3 lead. Of course, Plummer's Crack has shown you all season what the man can do on the ground with the ball and continues to make plays with his legs, and he's going to have to right now if we're going to come away victorious here today. On this next play here, it's going to be a toss to halfback Drew Austin, who makes a nice little cut up through the defense there, finds his way all the way into the end zone and gives his team the lead once again. However, Zipper Explosion goes up for a great 35-yard catch of his own. We weren't able to do much here on 3rd and 1. We take a tough sack and end up settling for 3, but not a bad score here at halftime. You wish we were on top, but it's okay because you know Plummer's Crack and the rest of the squad got chewed out at halftime by Coach Frank in the locker room. He could not have been happy with this first half effort, and right off the jump, Flipper Anderson the third and the rest of the Cyclones go to work here. Nice looking touchdown. The tight end Dan Small continues to convert for us when we need him most. We also get the 2-point conversion, now extending this lead to 7 here, and with the clock ticking down in the third quarter, Beef Tip sets up a nice short touchdown for our fullback Robert Edwards. Here on the kick, it does doink in, folks, but it's good, and now up 31-14. We seem like we're firmly in control of this game. That was until Drew Austin made a nice reception of his own there and continues to put some points up on the board for these Jayhawks. Following up a touchdown from tight end Girth Brooks, Kansas decides, hey, you know what? Why don't we respond here? And Workman somehow gets wide open on this play. Not really sure who was supposed to pick up the coverage on that one, but some sloppy defense right there leads to an easy touchdown for Kansas. Now we do get the onside kick, folks. We waste the rest of the clock here. We get the W. Got to celebrate this one. I know it's not the strongest opponent in the world, but we'll take a win where we can get them. We have one game remaining here in the regular season. We're going up against Kansas State and the Wildcats, and boy, would they get to work here early. A nice route there. Kevin Morgan with the touchdown catch. We decide to roll the dice on this 4th and 8, and it converts to the man Beef Tip. Nice route right there. Plummer's Crack would take it himself here, get it into the end zone, nice and easy. On this next play, you'll see one of the best catches from 1 yard out that you might ever see. Beef Tip makes it look way more acrobatic than he needed to, but heck, we'll give him some bonus points there for style. What a play. Kansas State now showing their ability to run the ball as they go right through the middle of our defense. They end up settling for a field goal, however, so we've got a 14-10 game now. Plummer's Crack has already taken it once himself this game. He says, you know what? Why don't I run it back and do it again? His second rushing touchdown of the game. Now on 3rd and 14, we are forced to throw this ball away. We punt it back to Kansas State. They kind of matriculated down the field, if you will. Matt Woodard finishes that off with a 17-yard touchdown, but not to be outdone, Flipper Anderson the third bounces back here with a tutty of his own. First of the game for our guy Flipper. Nice grab right there as Orlando Kelly goes up for the aggressive touchdown. Well done, but now it's going to be Plummer. Been using his legs all day. No reason not to continue doing the same here. We're only up by 3, but now it's Flipper on a crucial play, running through defenders, getting us into the end zone, and it's going to be their last gasp of air here. It won't be enough for the Wildcats. Big time win for us, and we're going to wrap up the season here with an 8-4 record. The Cyclones are celebrating down here on the field, and who can blame them? After a bit of an up and down season, they end on somewhat of a high note here, and they'll be headed to the Liberty Bowl here to take on number 7 Auburn. Look at the crowd here for this one, folks. If you don't think Iowa State fans travel for these games, I think you are crazy. They are ready to see their team do some damage here today against one of the top 10 teams in the nation, but it does not start well. Paul Curry with an early touchdown run. We end up responding with a field goal here, but now it's going to be Curry going to work once again, runs through Pickle Rick on the defense. I mean, makes that look just way too effortless. What a play right here. A huge run, folks, and give them some credit. Up now 14-3 early, and we're not hitting the panic button quite yet, but Plummer's Crack really needs to do everything in his power to help us hang around in this one here early, and he does that to end the first quarter with a hell of a play right there. We ended up going for 2, not getting the conversion, but that's fine. Auburn says doesn't freaking matter to us what you do because we're going to keep making big plays out here on the field. After that huge pass, the man Paul Curry finishes it off with a nice short scamper into the end zone. He has been an absolute menace out here early today. Zipper Zipper Explosion catching this pass across the field, giving us some good field position after that 32-yard reception. Eventually, we'd get it down the field here and convert it into what looks like a touchdown, but the referees are going to go back and take a look at this one. They would reverse the play here, which is pivotal, and on 4th and goal, we end up coming up short. Unbelievable stop by the Auburn defense on the goal line there. Here, shortly before halftime, we get another opportunity, but unfortunately, Auburn rips it right out of our hands with that interception, and there's a lot of green grass in front of him here. I don't know if any of our players are going to catch up to him at this point because he looks like he is gone with this one. What a play right there, 28-9, and we are getting straight up worked in this game. Girth Brooks does get a nice touchdown there to start off early in the second half. Zipper Explosion chips in as well, and now just like that, we've got an 11-point game, but the Auburn quarterback opts to keep it on this one here, and boy, was that the right decision because he makes a beautiful play here, getting it all the way down to the 7-yard line. Paul Curry would finish off this drive just like he's done all day long with another short yardage run right there. Flipper Anderson III would bounce back for us with an early touchdown here in the 4th quarter, but folks, it seemed like a little too late because Paul Curry is an absolute freaking machine. The guy is a unit, won't be stopped here today, can't be stopped here today. Plumber's Crack trying to desperately make a final effort on that one, but it's not going to make a difference, man. Paul Curry, I mean, why is the defense even trying at this point? This guy has had a career day out here, a 29-yard run to just top it all off, and the backup quarterback's in at this point for us, but it's not going to matter much, folks. Unfortunately, we do come up just a bit short in this one, taking a tough L in the Liberty Bowl. Coach Frank just can't break through against some of these elite teams yet, but maybe, just maybe, season 5 will finally be the year he can get it done. Now we'll just take a quick look at some of the players here from Iowa State that will be moving on. Looks like Zipper Explosion and Girth Brooks are headed to the draft. Our backup quarterback, Papa Sump, moving forward as well. Flipper Anderson III will not move on to the NFL, but he will graduate and have one hell of a career behind him here in Ames. We got Dak Dasani, Anthony Crazy, Dan Small, so a lot of recognizable names all up and down that list. As you can see here, Zipper does end up going in the 1st round. Girth goes in the 3rd, our only 2 draft picks this year, but good luck to both these guys at the next level. That will pretty much do it here for us in season 4 at Iowa State. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like or a comment. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you know we appreciate that as well. I've been having a ton of fun with this Dynasty Daze series, and thank you everybody for continuing to tune on in and support. I do stream on Twitch Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. and then of course Sunday nights at 6 p.m. as well. So come on through and join us at the stadium sometime. We actually just started a brand new Dynasty with a brand new coach at Wyoming. So we're shaking things up a little bit, but we play plenty of college football. And if you feel like stopping on through sometime, we'd love to have you there. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. And remember that one thing we say here at the end of every video, class is in session.